Welcome back to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. I am now being joined by the Executive Director from the LaGrange Art Museum, Laura Jennings. Laura, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Alton. Thanks for having me.
Well, it is a pleasure to sit down with you and talk about the various things that are happening. I just had Barbie on. She talked about all the things that are happening in our downtown and around the downtown area. And you know, part of that is the arts are so important because I think when we look at like the Christmas parade and we look at the carriage ride, arts is built into everything that we touch, feel, and see. We may not necessarily acknowledge it, but it is.
Absolutely.
And I know that you know that firsthand, being the executive director there at the museum. Tell us a little bit about your role, Laura, if you don't mind.
Well, gosh, we just have a staff of 3, so we're running pretty ragged most all of the time. But we're focused on developing programs and workshops, educational classes that have relevance for our community. And we, of course, put on several exhibitions a year, and we have to select those and work with the artists to do contracts and that sort of thing. We have art donated periodically, and we have to, get that approved by the board. Of course, board meetings and that oversight. So it's just a real variety.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been a moment since I've been down there. I'm ashamed to say, I don't have to correct that, Laura. But I noticed, like the classes, I don't want to steal your thunder, but the classes that you all offer and all the other various things, and even most people may not necessarily know, but the kitchenette that you all have there as well. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But you talked about a number of exhibits that are scheduled. The first one I want you to just kind of give us a little bit about is the Society of 7. Talk about that one.
Well, we opened that one up at the end of October with a Howl at the Moon party, and the Society of 7 is 7 artists out of the Noonan area, and they're known as plein air artists, which mean that they paint live and outside.
Okay.
So they also, of course, have studios where they do inside art as well. But the art that we have, someone says, probably one of the best shows we've had in quite some time. Okay. And it's, as I said, 7 different artists, so it's very varied. But it's mostly scenes from the South, and it's really a great show. And then upstairs, we just changed out a show, and we just kind of put up some things from our permanent collection and from some art that's been donated to us. Okay. So it's kind of an eclectic mix upstairs right now. But Society of 7 runs to January 19th. Okay. All so right. It would be a good visit, especially in these cold months, where we, seek some inside
some warmth, right?
Activities. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Is there a charge to come in?
No, for Troup County residents, LaGrange and Troup County residents, it's free. We do ask for donation for people outside of the county, but there's nothing that we don't shake you down for the money.
Okay, very good. All right, so come in and enjoy. There's various 7 different artists out of the Noonan area, and in art again, because I always say I can't draw a stick man that looks worth anything, but I think it's so amazing to see someone take a blank canvas and create what we look at in awe and ooh over, and a person here in our very own community does just that. She makes us ooh and ah over the things that she's able to accomplish with yarn. Yes. And I'm talking about none other than Miss Annie Green. Talk about her exhibit.
Well, Annie Green just had an opening at the Artisans on the Square in Greenville this past Saturday, but her exhibition runs through March the 30th. And Artisans on the Square is a straight shot past LaGrange Mall, straight into Greenville, right there on the square. You can't miss it. But she has just debuted her 2nd autobiographical book called What Color is Water? And it's about growing up black in the segregated South. And there are 31 yarn paintings with that in her book. Her first autobiographical book, The Farm and Yarn, from the 1940s, when she would go to her grandparents' farm in the South, in South Georgia for the summers, that is also going to be up with that first book. Okay. And of course, she'll be there to autograph books. And anyway, it should be really an eye-opening, very interesting thing to see. And again, that's up through March 30th, so people should definitely go. They have limited hours, usually like Thursday through Saturday, so always just check.
Before. Okay, very good. And her first book I have, and I'm looking forward to getting her 2nd book.
Absolutely.
And definitely want to make sure that we add to our art collection, because she does an outstanding job with yarn. And I'm ashamed to say that she was my 7th grade art teacher, but it didn't rub off. It didn't stick, that's for sure. Absolutely. but no discount to her because she's awesome though.
She really is.
And Laura, that's just a couple of things that's going on. I know that you also have some other things that we have. John Lawrence from LaGrange College that will be there at the colleges. I mean, at the museum as well. Talk about that. If you don't mind.
He'll be. We're going to open an exhibition on February 15th of John Lawrence's photography. He's had a 50-year photography career, if you will. So it'll be works. It's kind of a retrospective from his early days till now. Some from his European travels, some from Mississippi. And John is going to retire from LaGrange College at the end of 2019. Okay. So it's just such an honor to get to show his work.
Okay.
The college will also be having an exhibition of the work, the photography that he has purchased for the college. And that is a really remarkable collection as well. So that's going to be a neat experience. And he's a very beloved member of the community and the art world. And so it'll be a special treat for us.
Okay, and that's going to be there in February.
Opens February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day.
15th. Okay, very good. All right, and again, this one will be free to the Troup County residents. Yes. Donations are encouraged and welcomed, no doubt.
Yes, and we always have an opening reception from 7 to 9.
Okay.
And it's probably one of the best experiences. You see everything from Hawaiian shirts and shorts to people dressed up. They're going to go out to eat in downtown. So Absolutely. It's just a perfect art world.
Okay. Well, very good. And I alluded to this a moment ago talking about the free art classes. So you all still have Super Saturday for people. Talk about that, Laura.
Yeah. Back in the day when my kids were young, Junior Service League provided Super Saturday. And you had to call, and it was a huge waiting list, and you had to call the morning that tickets were open. And now we've seen that parents don't like to make commitments or appointments or reservations. So we went to the format of every third Saturday of the month from 1 to 4. Kids and their parents come to the museum, to the Center for Creative Learning, and do an art project. So it's a drop-in, drop-out. So you can stay as long as you want or as short as you want. Okay. A lot of times the parents get involved making whatever it is. We try to make the art project somewhat relevant to what's on display at the museum so that they can go up there and understand kind of the genesis of the project. So it just seems to work for current day parents to have that kind of open studio thing. So. And, we couldn't do it without the Junior Service League. They provide our summer camp as well, the funding for our summer camp. So very lucky that way.
Absolutely. And before we came out, I was telling you, I remember coming there on Saturdays, bringing my little, again, me in an art class, just almost like oil and water. But we enjoyed the venue. We enjoyed going back seeing the urn where the artist cooked and everything of that nature. And it was always good because, like you said, there was a theme that we had to draw to, and I know that my little thoroughly enjoyed it because I still have one of his and our art pieces at home. So it's a memorable time for someone. If you have a little or a kid that you're mentoring, it's a great opportunity to bond and to connect with them. Absolutely.
Yeah. Sure is.
I think there's another exhibit that you guys have coming up too, Laura, is Bill Island.
Yeah, we have an annual meeting every year, open to the public. And usually it's just an hour-long meeting with a little reception. But this year we decided to go back to a dinner format. Bill Island, who's very well-renowned in the art world, he's with the Georgia Museum of Art in Athens. And he is just the liveliest speaker. People love to hear him. And he doesn't bore you with statistics of why art is important to the development of your brain, which, we all know. He is just makes you fall in love with art. And so we're really fortunate that he was willing to come down to LaGrange and do that. So that will be on January the 17th, a Thursday evening, and we'll have it at the Center for Creative Learning.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. So much going on there at the Art Museum. Let me just ask, because I know that so many times, and we mentioned about donations and stuff of that nature, Laura, if there was someone that says, I really want to be more involved with the museum, how can they get involved?
Yeah, it's so funny you bring that up, because yesterday we had a lady come in, and she's displaced because of the hurricane in Panama City. And she's bored to tears. She's doing all the paperwork and that sort of thing right now with her insurance company to be able to go back home. But she's bored to tears, and she said, I want to volunteer at the museum. So she came in, And we do have to have like a criminal background check and all of that
Okay.
since we work with children. And she got all her paperwork, and now she'll be an active volunteer. So we're always open to volunteers. We'd love it. You know, so many people work with careers nowadays. You know, volunteering time is of a premium, and if they have it, it's on the weekends. And you know, we need some volunteers during the week, and so yes, we have lots of volunteer opportunities.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, very
Thank
good.
you for asking about that.
No problem, because you know, as a once upon a time executive director of a nonprofit organization, I well know how important volunteerism is to that organization, and not only volunteerism in time, but also donations to help that
Absolutely, yes.
organization move forward. So I definitely understand.
Oh,
So
yes, that's a
definitely.
constant thing. We have a community that's blessed with great arts, but it needs to be funded by
That's right.
our
general
local
public.
community. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Laura, I want to thank you for coming on today and sharing all this information. And I know that as we continue to, you know, enjoy the Christmas season and the new year coming forward, people will come out and take advantage of these art exhibits that you all have there that is free to us. Just donations, encourage, and welcome. So
Yes.
thank you very much, Laura, for your time this morning.
Oh, thank you for having me, Alton.
All right.
Take care.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll come back for more City Week in just a moment.